Hi, my name is Tony Quilty. I'm responsible for social inclusion services in the Midwest, and I have responsibility for homeless services, ethnic minorities, addiction services, and traveller health, and a couple of other bits and pieces. I'm also the HSE rep on the LCDC for Limerick, and falling out of that, I'm the chair of the Healthy Limerick group. I first came across social farming when I was asked at an LCDC meeting, what exactly is social farming? And I had to respond that I hadn't an idea. I was helped out by another representative on the LCDC and who explained exactly what it was. So I read up on it afterwards, and I started to like the idea of it. I then visited Mike O'Connell's farm. Mike was one of the great champions and hosts, and if I went in hating it, I would come out loving it, because Mike's enthusiasm and absolute commitment to it was totally infectious. I then took it a step further and said, would you be prepared to bring some homeless people out? And Mike said that was one of my ambitions, so we were very much singing off the same hymn sheet. So we then proceeded to try and organise it, and I know someone that is working in the homeless services, and they said that the excitement and enthusiasm for social farming and the whole selection process was the subject, the main subject of conversation in the homeless hostel on the weeks building up to it. Then there was the question of when people were selected, they were strutting around the place delighted with themselves, and there was the question of wearing appropriate gear. Now, one of the females, I understand, insisted that if she was going on the farm, she needed wellies of a particular colour. So a shopping expedition had to be organised, and they were required, and they went on the farm. So we were very anxiously waiting for the feedback, and we needn't have been anxious, because the feedback was universally positive. The fresh air, the exercise, the sense of having something to do, reason, structure to get up in the morning. And the one thing that came across from all of them was the sense of being trusted. For many of them, it had been many years since anyone had trusted them. And one of the feedback came from one of the participants was that on a particular morning, he was finishing his cup of tea, and Mike said, finish your cup of tea, and they left him behind in the kitchen. And he couldn't understand or get over the fact that here he was in the house, belonging to someone else, and he was trusted to finish his cup of tea. I think social farming is really positive, has tremendous potential. We need more of it. We need more Mike O'Connells, and we need more access for homeless services in particular is the one I would be championing. Perhaps direct provision is another angle that we could look at. And I would love to get it to a stage where there's a kind of a phase 2, because that would involve people who have come through phase 1, for whom it's been successful, linking in with their key workers, and hopefully bringing it on to another stage. That in my world would be a real step forward. The cause of social farming is something that I would support wholeheartedly and strongly. I've seen it at first hand, what the results are and what the results can be, and it can only get better and better with more resources.